Hi, and welcome to a quick video based on the Extract 2 flat blocks from A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. So before we sort of look to explore what's in this extract, let's just look at what's being commented on within the extract itself. Okay, so there is this sense of oppressive state control, this whole fact of this communist sort of communist architecture whereby the repressive conditions are imposed upon Alex, as in the way that the authorities think about him, but also this dystopic metropolis, whereby the people are subjected to masses living in these dehumanizing flat block sort of areas. Okay, and I think that the depiction that is portrayed within Extract 2 does indeed sort of show this repression of free speech and expression of individuality. Okay, and indeed it kind of mirrors the effect that within these flat blocks there's this sense that all of these people that live in there are indeed individuals that are below, I suppose, the standard that society expects of them. So indeed, in this extract, we see clear examples of the rise of violence and destruction, youth culture. So this Teddy Boys dress and the whole mods versus rocker influences that Burgess was exploring from his context. And I think that as a result, we can clearly see in this extract that the violence is quite vivid as a result of the society that these boys are living in. And I think when you're looking at that aspect, we look at, as I said, the Teddy Boy sort of appropriation of the Edwardian upper class manners and dress, but the violent working class aspect within their, I suppose, within the way that they're conveyed as droogs with their neo-Elizabethan dress. And I think that this Elizabethan sort of influence has been sort of further explored as the novel unfolds. So let's just look at the first extract, the first part of the extract, I should say, because this is over 2 slides. We can clearly see from the second sentence, we said I had my cutthroat grip handy in case any of Billy Boy's droogs should be around in the flat block waiting, or for that matter any of the other bandas or gruppers or shakers that from time to time were at war with one. Okay, so here we see a clear sort of mention of this sort of youth violence, this violence between gangs in the world that Alex is within. Okay, and he says where I was lived with my dada and mum in the flats of Municipal Flat Block 18A. Okay, so here this is a clear link to the sort of repressive living conditions that these people are residing in, and it's a sort of a it's a satirical view of the British welfare by Burgess here, as he's sort of mirroring this communist architecture, this communist decor. Okay, and of course on his way into the building, we see another reference to the destruction that has laid waste in his area, where he says, I got to the big main door with no trouble, although I did pass one young man check, sprawling and preaching and moaning in the gutter, all cut about lovely, and saw in the lamplight also streaks of blood here and there, like signatures, my brothers of the Knights Fillet. So again, this is a very vivid and disturbing image of the destruction that was going on literally on Alex's doorstep. Okay? And as he goes into his I suppose into the building, he says and two I saw just by at 18A a pair of butchers' nizzlies, doubtless rudely wrenched off in the heat of the moment. Oh, my brothers. So again, this is this debauchery, this sort of sense that nothing is sacred here in this area, and there's no law It is a terrifying situation for those people who want to do the right thing, but they are surrounded by such horrific examples. And so in the hallway was the good old municipal paintings on the wall, decks and Petitz's very well developed, stern in the dignity of labour at workbench and machine with not one stitch of platters in a well developed plot. So this is a commentary on images that are on the walls that people live in. Okay, it's not the most flattering or most beautiful thing to be looking at. And again, this is a satirical look of the welfare of the British state at this point in time by Burgess, again linking it back to this communist sort of, I suppose, less than suitable surroundings. And when we move on to the second part of the extract here in the slide, he says, but of course some of the Malcheks living in 18A had, as was to be expected, embellished and decorated the said big painting with handy pencil and ballpoint, adding here and stiff rods and dirty ballooning slogos out of the dignified rots of those negroid there, that is, Chinas and Vex. Okay, so this is just a reiteration of the sort of the sense that the youth are destructive here, and they are indeed sort of ruining a place of home for a lot of people. In other words, we're bringing it back to Burgess's context, whereby he felt that the youth of his day were not respectful. The youth of his day were not respecting their elders. The youth of his day were not doing as they should have done. Okay. And he says, I went to the lift, but there was no need to press the electric knob to see if it was working or not, because it had been chocked. Real horror show. And I think here, this again is a representation of the violence and the destruction of the youth, because it's been basically destroyed. And he says the metal doors all buckled, some feat of rare strength indeed. So again, you could sort of see here that there could be an allusion to the use of drugs that are evident within society, because research has shown that individuals, when on drugs, they do tend to enhance some of their sort of abilities regarding strength, and for indeed not feeling pain. So for example, so there's that numbing of pain there, which is further developed when later on in the extract, when you see here the impact of the hallucinogen and the drugs that they got from the milk bar, when he says, I wanted music very bad this evening. That singing Dvorak in the Korova having perhaps started me off. So that I wanted music very bad aspect could be seen as the effect or the hallucinogenic drugs on Alex here. So fundamentally, what we need to look at and what we want to focus on now when we explore this extract is to sort of look at the following sort of guiding questions that are here on this slide. So for example, we want to look at how is Burgess commenting on or reflecting on the anxieties regarding violence between teenage gangs, and I think you need to sort of look at how does he satirize or respond to or comment on contemporary anxieties regarding the emergence of the British welfare state, okay, in his rendering of this setting. So has he identified any aspects of the British welfare state in his time, in his context, that is mirrored here in, I suppose, in Alex's sort of building of municipal flat block 18A. And the third question, how does Burgess's ironic rendering of the setting respond to Cold War fears regarding the influence of communist ideologies in Britain? How does the author critique and mock the promoted ideals of communism? And indeed, through this, and if you look at the municipal artwork, the artwork, what was on the walls as he was walking back to his actual apartment, how does he satirize the description here? And how does he achieve? So these are some key questions to look at in this extract. Best of luck. If you have any questions, just ask.